fade, slowing down and making no time. I gotta keep it rolling. Those in the windshield wipers snapping out the tempo, playing perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. I gotta keep it rolling.
What's up, everybody? And this is a no-purpose live stream that I actually texted Tremaine about a half hour ago. I said, "You want to go live?" He said, "Yeah."
Boom.
Because
Just
we've
like
been
that.
trying to make this happen anyway. So it's just gonna kind of be a lot of different things, more of a variety show, I guess, today. But what we are gonna start off with is saying hi to you guys, and of course, I'm gonna welcome, as I always do. Let me see if I can. By the way, if you guys don't watch TikTok, I've given Tremaine some like awesome videos in Russian, and I'm playing with AI. I'm deep, guys. I'm deep in the darkness.
Yes, you are.
But yes, we're gonna get to that. So I want to introduce, for those of you that don't know, many years ago, I mean
25 years ago.
June of 2020, you and I met. We met prior to that on Twitter, but we actually started having conversations, and you came on the audio podcast.
That's right.
So we are now over 4 years. We're coming up on 4.5 years. Which is strange because we've never met in person, and I've met a lot of gig people in person, but you're one of those people that I just know when we meet, it's just going to be like I've known you 100 years.
Yeah.
I'm almost going to feel like I didn't even meet you. Like, what's up, dude? Nothing.
No, I know. Yeah, I forget that I haven't even met you in real life, which sounds so weird. You know what I mean? But no, yeah, we get along really well. So
yeah, and so for those of you that don't know, Tremaine Hayho. I always do this as building the largest movie studio in the world because that's how I got to know him. And I love that. I don't think it's cockiness. I think it's confidence. And I think that's a big difference. Tremaine has it. And it is one of the things you have to be something super successful, like a movie studio, even an indie one like Tremaine or whatever. You have to have, if you don't have that confidence, just leave. I mean, seriously, just go. I don't mean it mean. I mean, just go work for somebody like Tremaine and earn a good living, because you might not have that motive. This is gonna grind you. It's gonna take everything out of you.
That is so funny. I was at a film festival a few weeks ago, and this guy that was in Oppenheimer, this guy played General whatever in Oppenheimer. It's like a smaller role, but he said he gets advice. Like people, like actors ask him, like, "Oh, how do you, well, I don't know about, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know. I'm kind of self-conscious on camera. I don't know if I could be an actor." And then he goes, "Well, then go work at Starbucks. Go do it." He literally straight up says it. He straight up tells him, because I mean, look, like you'd have to have the confidence. It's not only just confidence though. You have to have a goal, right? And it has to be,
of course,
right. And I'm
just
not saying,
like,
and I'm not saying it's happening today or tomorrow, but maybe 10 years, 20 years from now, I don't know. We're working towards that, right? The world's greatest.
But there's also different levels, dude. I mean, there's the people who say, you know what? I really love cooking. Every job I've ever had as a cook, I get promoted immediately. They beg for me to stay. They give me raises. I want to run a food truck. That's a lot different than saying I'm going to go get a bar and restaurant license.
Right. Or saying I want the biggest chain in the
right. I'm gonna go put Olive Garden out of business, even though I think they already put themselves out of business.
They're putting themselves out of business, dude. I went there a few weeks ago.
It's funny you say that because my son.
I hadn't been there in like 5 years, but
I haven't been there in like 15 years. And my son's birthday was just not too long. It was beginning of this month, and it was his 18th. And I said, "What do you want to do for dinner for your 18th birthday?" And he said, and they were both places I've been to Olive Garden, but I hadn't been to Texas Roadhouse. So he first suggests Texas Roadhouse, and I'm like, chain. Like I'm trying to take him somewhere cool. I'm like, dude,
right.
Wait, let's pick something Denver. Don't say McDonald's.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But he knew that. But he oddly, and he loves good food and stuff. But he said either Texas Roadhouse or Olive Garden. And I said, why the hell Olive Garden? I said, is it some free breadsticks thing? I don't even remember what their deal is. And he's like, I've never been. And I'm like, never go.
Yeah, like
I'm
son,
like, dude, you're not missing anything. And in about a year, they're going to be out of business. So like,
say, son, we're here, we're family, but when we're at Olive Garden, we're miserable and we're family. So,
but it was
and look,
pretty funny. So we went to Texas Roadhouse. I had never been there, and actually, for a chain, I gotta give it some props.
yeah,
Place
yeah,
was
it's
not
bad.
bad. I thought it was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually have no complaint on it. You know, like I was actually surprised because I thought I was getting into like an Outback Steakhouse thing.
Yeah.
Which also can be good, but like not anymore. It's kind of like got the Olive Garden dust on it. Like there's nothing left there, dude. Like you beat it to death, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. The Aussie.
You know.
Yeah,
so,
it's kind of like more of a novelty now, I would say, than like a destination that people actually go there to eat. Right?
Yeah, I mean, Olive Garden,
it would be funny.
In 10 years, Olive Garden will be Stuckey's. If those of you who know what a Stuckey's is,
no idea what that is. Stuckey's.
Yeah, there's only like 3 left in the country. I know there's one on the highway from Tucson, Arizona to Las Cruces, New Mexico, down there on the 10. There's one, and dude, you walk in there, and it's huge. It was like it's like a Denny's or a maybe even more like a IHOP, but it's half IHOP, and then half the other side is tchotchke shit that you don't need, and that isn't related to where the Stuckey's is. It's not like if you're in Michigan, you're buying Michigan stuff. It's like Puerto Rico, you know, like. And so like here I am on the 10 when I did see one, because they used to have them in Michigan when I grew up, and I saw one on the 10 and I pulled over, and dude, it was like, if you like, remember in the movie Half Baked with Dave Chappelle and all those guys?
Yes.
Remember when he goes in the store and he's like, say it with me, bodega. We all know bodega, but dude, this was exactly out of that movie. Like there was like, and they were big, long racks. There would be like one dusty Christmas ornament, and then there'd be like 2 boxes of shoes, and one of them had a marker that said only 1 shoe in box, or weird stuff, dude, where I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like what? Everything had like, and this is about 15, 20 years ago too, but everything had like a pricing gun red sticker. So like if it said $17, it was like $2.99. Everything said $2.99 too.
You're right.
Like that's the only price they could do with the gun. So they just made everything that. I didn't know what they were doing, but it was really scary. I see Traveler laughing and saying Stuckey's. So obviously some people do know. No, it's not Cracker Barrel, Bubba said.
Crackers Barrel.
Dude, Cracker Barrel is actually, you're going to get, at least it has decent food.
You know, I've never been. All I know is that you could sleep in the parking lot at Cracker Barrel. I think that's true. If you buy a breakfast, you know, or you have to buy the breakfast the next morning.
Do you guys have Buc-ee's in California?
We don't. I've never
Okay, so I just got turned on to Buc-ee's. We have one now. And it's just up north of Denver.
Huge,
and so I stop at it. I actually took Max to it. It's 25 miles from us. I said, we gotta go to this place. And because it is like an event, it's like
oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I have, or no, I went to something similar. It's like they have an ice cream parlor in there.
Yeah, and they have they do like roasted almonds. They have these stations, and then they have a place where you get meat by the pound, and like every 2 minutes they're cutting it, and everybody like it's not Greek, but it's like, you know, at Greek weddings when they all break the plates and say Opa, they have something where they like cut all the meat, and when they're all done, they raise their knives and they sing a song. Dude, I was like, what the hell is this place, man? Like, this is great. They sell clothes, they sell hunting, they sell guns, they sell food, they sell gasoline. They do pride themselves with saying, and dude, I called this out. I've traveled the entire globe, and it said cleanest bathrooms in the world. I was like, please.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm going in there. I went in there with a bad attitude. They have the cleanest bathrooms in the world.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Everything was
now that is crazy, because anytime you go to a gas station, it's like,
it's not a gas station, dude.
Well,
for a lot of people, it started in Texas. For a lot of people in rural Texas,
but
this
what
is
I'm
what you
saying,
do on the weekend. You going to Buc-ee's? Yeah, boy.
But what I'm saying is, most of the time when you need to get gas, and you go inside, like the gas station is a mess. The bathroom is a disaster. You feel like you got so many diseases just by walking in.
Right. So not only
So,
that, here you are. Okay, we'll call it your gas station for a minute. First of all, you walk in, everything has a floor to ceiling, like you would see in like a new hotel in LA, has a floor to ceiling door. There's
wow.
no peek under it, like a real
Huh.
door. It
Oh, like
shuts,
an
it's
actual
wood.
door,
You're in.
not like the door where you can see like half. You have to like,
Nope,
you
it
know,
has
there's
hand wipes in there. I mean, they clean it every time you leave. There's
wow.
scents that puff up. And then when you come out, there's a guy with colognes. This is
What?
like a 5-star
Is this a
restaurant,
club?
dude.
This is a club.
There's a shoe shine in there.
What?
Yeah. Like, dude, they're like, you want a shoe shine? I'm like, I'm like, I'm not gonna get one, but how much is a shoe shine? They're like, it's free, bro. We work on tips. I was like, what the fuck?
It's a bet, dude. That's a new gig economy. Ride shoe rodeo.
Right. Well, there's already like Hamper and those things that do your laundry. They should be the ones to tackle the shoes.
Oh yeah, no wax, no tips, right?
Yeah.
No wax, no tips.
Yeah. But anyway, here's the thing, guys. Here's what we're going to start off with tonight. So again, Tremaine Hayhoe, the CEO, founder, writer, director, and maybe not of everything he's done. I'm just saying these are all things he does. He owns it. He's in charge of the operations. We all know the headache that alone can create. But if you're also the creative side of everything too, it's Hayhoe Studios. And even if it's the second largest, but it's not going to be, it's going to be the largest. But even if it was the second largest, this guy's putting in his time. And in the time I've known Tremaine, I feel like I've even seen, like, he knows, oddly, one of my favorite movies of his is an odd one. I think it's, now I'm forgetting. It's always when it comes around, I think it's number 2, Leprechaun
2. Yeah.
Because of, I love all of them, but there's one single look he gives. It's that look, because I'm like, that's my favorite Tremaine thing. And it's him. By the way, Tremaine does, even in his bigger pictures, he does do cameos. And this is something I do want to say before we move into SiMP. So Tremaine knows I have been collecting GoPro footage for about 20 years. I am now search and rescue certified. I'm doing heli drops and in the Four Corners in January, and I'm getting some of my last backcountry footage together. And I've asked Tremaine, hey dude, let's put this documentary together. Help me out. It's got to be like a 40-minute documentary, but instead of like every snowboard documentary, because I sent him a bunch, and the ones I sent him are the sick ones. I know them. They're done, like they're Red Bull ones done at full production, and they're dialed, the music, everything, the shooting. But mine is more my adventure into the backcountry. So it's kind of like going to be a combination of a movie Tremaine did that won a lot of awards, Cat Town Story, which was a documentary. So it's going to be a little bit of a documentary. It's going to have a lot of action and like what to not do, what to do, what to look out for, how to be talking with people in your group, and how to get into the backcountry. Don't just go back there without equipment. People do it all the time. More people than not don't have the right equipment. So it's scary. But I've been watching Tremaine. Can this guy handle what I want to do? Yeah, he can. And Rideshare, if you guys haven't seen it, Rideshare is awesome. I really do love Rideshare. Like that to me is when I was meeting Tremaine and that movie was out, one of the things we talked about was and I won't get too detailed. I'm just going to skim over it, but there was a similar situation. And not similar, but there was a situation that was going on, and there always is with rideshare. Even these days, it seems worse, but there was a situation going on with a mass shooting that Tremaine was getting some beef for on Twitter, and he was playing it like a pro. He was like, hey, whatever, dude. He's like, sorry, the bad timing. I'm making a movie, bro. Like, it has nothing to do with nothing, kind of thing. And I didn't even know him. I started jumping in and defending him. I was like, fuck you, dude. Why can't he make a movie about this? Like, so what? Oh, the guy is kind of looks the same. Shut up. And I mean, I have you guys know me in the gig economy. That's my space. I have the utmost hate for the apps not protecting the drivers. And I have the utmost sympathy and empathy for the families and stuff of these things. But the people that were trolling him on social, on Twitter, was just stupid. They were.
I think, anyone could take it out of context. Like I think they took it as I was trying to use that to be famous, which the movie has nothing to do with anything that
Nothing,
happened. Right.
nothing to do with it. Doesn't if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
guys do know the story or did, because we're not gonna get into it, and then you watch the movie if you haven't seen it, you would see really no similarity. No.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the story isn't anything at all about because I know this about Tremaine too. Tremaine and I have traded movie ideas and like, or you should watch this, you should watch this. I told him to watch a movie and he's like, dude, I hate gore. And I think he watched it for me. It's called Terrifier. I would
Yeah.
warn all of you to never watch it. It is
Yeah.
very hard to watch. But
Yeah.
the reason I was watching Terrifier and I got into it, A, it was the pandemic, but B, it was 2020. And if you guys remember in 2020, the by Halloween, which is kind of near, it was like 7 months into the pandemic, Chicago had this outbreak of a clown who was appearing in the cemetery every night.
Oh yeah, I
Remember
remember that.
this?
Yeah,
And
I
he
remember
looked
that.
sketchy as shit, dude.
Yeah.
And then this movie comes out and it's this clown. Only difference was the clown in the movie's wearing a little mini hat.
Mhm.
Like it's a little mini top hat, but the other clown just had a clown hat on, but even the suit and everything attire did look the same. So I was watching it, but that's gore. That's not what Tremaine does. He's more thriller, and that's stuff I love. So and in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, Tremaine, but like one of your the big I probably a way you create a lot of your stuff is Hitchcock. Like
Yeah.
that's your guy.
Well, yeah, definitely influenced a lot growing up on
I
Hitchcock
just mean,
movies.
and I what I understand from it is Hitchcock doesn't use gore ever.
Right. Yeah, right. It's
You-
more it's more of the thought that I think, like, at least for me, it's the thought of, it's like where my brain could go is like far worse than if I just see a gut, blood and guts all the time. You know what I mean? I think it's more the thoughts of keeping the audience in more of a suspense type thing. But to each their own. But yeah, let's talk about SiMP, because I haven't
Yeah,
talked to you.
this is where I want to
I
bring together
Okay,
some
okay,
because
yeah.
Tremaine's been waiting for me to get together and do one of
You're
these
like
with him.
killing me with this suspense here.
So I just want to say hi, Miko. Hi, Jill. Hey,
Speaking of
Kevin
suspense,
Hawthorne. Hey, Bubba Sue. Hey, Traveler. Hey,
hey Deborah, hey Traveler, hey
hey, Rick.
Bubba Sue, hey Kevin, hey Dashing with Jill,
And
hey
so
Rideshare
guys,
Road
here's
Warrior
here's
Rick.
what I'll say. Tremaine has a lot of movies out. He has a lot of shorts out. He has a lot of projects he's been involved in. He has I don't know, maybe if we have enough time you can explain it too. I don't know where you're at with how to be a movie maker. You did this whole thing on that was pretty cool. So, but I'm going to use three pieces here. I'm going to use rideshare because these are also the timeline that these came out in. Again, he's done others in between and whatnot, but rideshare, um, Cat Town Story, which was a documentary, and then now SiMP. And rideshare is amazing. And one of the things that first blew me away about it was we don't even need to get into it. We've talked about it before, but the budget that Tremaine did it on, because it was actually one of my real first eye-opening things, because I had already watched the movie and then he told me what he did it for. And I was like thinking, man, like the production value was A+. And I'm thinking, well, why does everybody need to spend 15 million if you did this for, I don't know if you even want to say, but for what you did it for? Because I was blown away, dude. I mean, I know actors cost, I know, but you made a legit production movie that if somebody saw it in a theater would just be like, cool, man.
Thank you, thank you.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure you understand that. We all know that there's politics involved in everything, but this is one of those scale things where when he told me and what I know what a movie can cost, it's like, dude, what are they doing?
Yeah, I know. It always boggles my mind what some of these other productions cost.
I mean, I get it. Actors and then the promotions and all that. That's a lot of it.
Yeah, right.
But even the
still.
filming seems to be ridiculous.
But
then
still.
Tremaine does this movie. Tremaine, do you want to give, and then we'll move into SiMP. Do you want to give like a quick wrap up of Cat Town Story, how it came about, what it was in a nutshell, and like the award you won?
Sure. Yeah. So we, during pandemic, is like, what can you do? Everything was shut down, and you can't really have a big cast or crew. So we're like, what can we do? And my friend Mario, I was hanging out with him just because we're college buddies, and he's like, he got this new cat. I'm like, oh, where'd you get this cat? He's like, oh, I got him at Cat Town. I'm like, oh, okay, of course, you got a cat at Cat Town. I'm like, what the heck is Cat Town? And he's like, oh, it's this, he's like, oh, it's a adoption facility. It's right down the street. And we were thinking about, like, because I'm like, well, what can we do? I mean, we've always wanted to do a documentary, and I'm like, that could be a really good documentary story idea. And I was there in Oakland, like we're a couple blocks away. I'm like, maybe we're having a couple drinks talking about it. I'm like, well, why don't we go there tomorrow morning and ask them and see if they're up for it? And so we just literally go down the street, and we went and we asked the people, hey, would you guys be interested in a documentary? Tell us about yourselves. And then they connected us with it, and yeah, the rest is history. I mean, we put together the movie. It still took a decent amount of time when all was said and done, because scheduling, conflicts, COVID, all that stuff. And then editing is the toughest part about a documentary, because there's no script. There's no solid.
No, but I mean, to those of you that haven't seen that, is that one on YouTube?
That one's on YouTube. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube, Tubi TV.
And if by the way, if anybody, because a lot of you guys everybody in here has a wrench. Oh, except for dashing with Jill. Jill, I need to get to know you a little better before I throw out a wrench.
Awesome. Sounds good.
But as you can tell, I give them out easy. But if people want to put, just make sure you write it too. If you put the link, if you go over to Hey Ho Studios and you put the link to Cat Town Story, don't just put the link, write in all caps Cat Town Story, and then put the link so that it shows it in the chat here. Okay. But go ahead, because put that in, put rideshare in, and then we're going to move to SiMP, which is not on YouTube, but in fact is on Prime. And I think it's $3.99 to rent or $4.99 to buy. I bought it because Tremaine's my homie.
Thank you, sir.
And plus, dude, when it's $1, what the hell? Like,
yeah, and like, yeah. So to be honest though, it's like I didn't have control over that. They just do that. I didn't set those prices. I actually would prefer people to just stream it on Prime for free, because then I get royalties. But it is actually a lot better royalty per unit.
You saying that?
No, I didn't. No, that's the distributor.
They just go, it's this.
No, they just go, because so it's I think it's $1.99 to rent. So I think because it's an indie movie, it's they make the price really affordable, and so, like, I'm starting to get some of the sales reports back, and it's surprisingly looking pretty decent. So nothing crazy, but like something that I was kind of really taken aback by. So it is a good thing, but hopefully it will be more accessible to everyone. And I'm hoping to get to Tubi TV. I might do a YouTube release at some point. Wink, wink. I don't know.
Do any of the Tubies or anything charge you anything? Like, there's no charge to you, clearly. I mean, it might have to be free or whatever, but they don't.
Well, it's like YouTube. Like, YouTube doesn't charge you, but
no. I didn't know about the Tubies and stuff though, because now I see Tubi and other ones are charging, and they have a free and a charge and.
Oh, it's Tubi?
Dude, it's like what Hulu did years ago. Remember when Hulu was free, and now Hulu's like one of the number one.
Dang it, dude! Providers? I didn't know that. I didn't know Tubi's charging.
Well, no, there's free though too.
Oh, okay.
And there's freebie.
Well, dude, and then no, Amazon Prime. No, they have it. So if you have an Amazon Prime account and you're paying for it, now they still serve you ads. So they're like, oh no, we're still gonna give you ads even though you're paying for Prime. So that's kind of frustrating. But
guys, I can't copy that link. If somebody can go over to Tremaine's channel, here, I'll put it in here. At Hey Ho Studios, and copy those links that Tremaine made and bring them over here and paste them in this chat too. But yeah, so SiMP.
But this is the real link to get to that we want to do.
Right. You posted it in your live.
Should I post it? Oh, I see. Okay.
And I can't copy it out of StreamYard. So
I got
somebody in there will do it for you. They're good.
Oh, okay. All right, guys.
People are always helpful. Thank you guys. But SiMP. SiMP was, dude, I felt like I waited for SiMP for a long time, knowing about it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, me too. Like,
I know. Yeah, I know.
I mean, but I do. Like, I feel like, you were talking about SiMP so long ago. And then like I got to the point where I'm like, when he told me about Cat Town Stories, like a week later, he's like, go watch it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, and I know that's not how fast you put it together. It's just there was a flow. With SiMP, I don't know if you hit roadblocks or there were delays or what was going on, but I know we were enough past pandemic. So, but I felt like it took a minute. But anyway, regardless, who cares how we got here? We're here. It's out. I don't want to give away any spoilers. So before we start the conversation, do you want to just give an overhead about what the movie is, what it's about, so that that way I'll kind of know where I should not go with it?
Okay, well, it's about a model who gets kidnapped at a fake photo shoot based on true events. This is the poster.
Yeah.
So if you look at the poster, you don't know if she's
it's like
alive,
it's like an Instagram model type
exactly
thing. So it's
like,
social media, one of the hype people, like a TikToker or something.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this is so we have SiMP here. So that's the premise of it. And yeah, I'd love to hear what you think of it.
First of all, Tremaine, and I'm not kidding, dude. You were the best actor in the movie. And that's not a diss on the movie. I think you did your best acting in that one.
Wow. Thank you.
Like, because your scene was a little longer too, or at least it was important. Like, I'm going to give a spoiler on Rideshare. On Rideshare, his scene, you'll have to still find it, but his scene is very short and he's just begging for some change in like an in and out line.
Yep.
But in this one, he's actually playing a role. He's carrying himself well. And the other actors, I got no beef with any of them. I was just shocked about you. I was like, you should be acting too, bro.
Thank you. Well, I am. I am.
But that's a Hitchcock thing too, isn't it?
Well, it was a cameo. He would make cameos. He wouldn't necessarily act. Well, he would act in a sense that he would do his Alfred Hitchcock Presents. So he would do the presentations like, good evening. That's kind of all the acting that he really did. I know. I love acting. I started out as an actor since kindergarten. So that was my first love. And the mindset, though, being an actor and then directing as well, it's a whole nother beast. Like, I give Kevin Costner and Mel Gibson like all the credit in the world now. Like, I used to kind of low key make fun of like Costner, thinking he's kind of a joke, but he's not, dude.
Just make fun of Ben Affleck, dude.
Ben Affleck, no, yeah. Oh, Ben Affleck too. I mean, Ben.
I know
Affleck
he's one of those.
But... He's a lot of talent though too. Like The Town is a great heist movie. I mean, a lot. Yeah. Some of those movies are hit and miss, but it's tough. I mean, so with this one, I was going to play like the lead in this one.
You were,
but yeah. I guess
I'm glad you didn't. If you ever doing one of your, I don't think this would have been the right one.
No, exactly, it wasn't. And the thing is, with Mike Markoff, who he's a very, very talented actor. There's so much dialogue in it, and I've been so.
Mike is the main character.
Yeah, the main guy. So he's the guy that kidnaps her, and then.
Because I'm saying that because I don't want to give away things, but
you can say, I mean,
there's other people involved too.
Yeah,
like throughout the process. Okay.
She gets kidnapped and taken to a cabin and held hostage for.
Right.
But so you could say that. But Mike Markoff has just been coming off of. He was just on Richard Linklater's Hitman movie, so that was a #1 on Netflix, I think, for 3 or 4 weeks. So he has a solid part in that movie. So we're kind of riding the wave. He filmed that movie right after he filmed SiMP. So even these huge budgets, these big movies with huge budgets, they take years to come out, right? So there was a bit of like hiccups because we needed post audio correction and we needed to raise more money, and there's never enough money. But I'm learning, like with anything, it's no matter what your budget is, right? Like Francis Ford Coppola is just coming out with a $120 million movie that no one else wanted to finance. The poor guy had to sell part of his wine business in order to fund his $120 million. So
yeah, I mean, I know you're saying poor guy, but I'm
saying that with the tongue in cheek.
But I'm going to say a quick sidestep here too. Like, look, there's a lot of actors in Hollywood who get married 6-7 times. They have prenups. They work all this stuff out there. Both actors. For those that don't know, Robert De Niro's going through some major stuff right now. Like he went through a divorce, and I don't know, that might have even been his first and only wife. I don't know if he's been married multiple times, but she took him. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying she did bad, but she took him for a lot. And actually,
Oh,
he's
really?
making movies right now to dig himself out of a hole. This is the guy that did Goodfellas and stuff. Shouldn't he have enough money to?
Dude,
I don't know, man.
yeah.
Like I was
Wow.
watching a story on him. Like he's not well off right now.
No wonder why he's going so ballistic. Like he's like going crazy over politics and everything. And
Yeah.
dude, this is
Dude,
just
I saw on the Joe Rogan podcast this week, he was talking about how that starting in 2025, De Niro has 3 Goodfella type commercials with Manscaped.
no.
Dude, I'm
No,
just like,
are you serious?
I don't know. Joe Rogan was serious. Yeah, he was being serious.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, even if no matter how that's played out, it's gonna bother me.
Yeah. I know, because you're like, oh, I know you from that one thing.
You talking to
The
me?
man,
You
yeah, you
talking to
talking.
me?
I know you from that Manscaped ad.
You're
I
the
think
guy
about
that-
you. I think about you every time I shave my crown jewels.
But so SiMP. I thought SiMP was great. I thought that it for a thriller, like, you know, with at least me with thrillers, and especially ones that don't use 100,000 locations throughout the movie. You know, you really can focus in. A couple different times I was like, oh, this is what's going to happen, or this is what's going on. If you can confuse me a little bit, not to the point where I'm annoyed, but where I'm confused as to like, I'm following all this, what the hell are you building up to? You're doing amazing, because I don't get fooled easy. I consider myself a fairly smart person. I usually follow that stuff, and in those type situations, I can have it figured out. But there were things like, you know, like when, again, I don't know how to not give a spoiler, so this might be a little one. So like there's a part in the kind of beginning where she's chained to the bed, right? And by that I mean, I think it's been a minute since I've seen it, and I bought it, but it's either her one wrist or her ankle is just one, and then it's shackled to the bed. And I was like, dude, you've been there for like 10 minutes. You don't have Stockholm syndrome? Lift the bed and run. Like,
well, it's a big, heavy bed. It's a big, yeah.
Well, you know how it is. You're yelling at all movies like, dude, run, you're gonna get killed.
Right. Yeah, but that was like a 600-pound bed or something crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe she could have lifted it up.
Regardless, I thought, to me, when you can make, because I mean, like, let me put it I'm not comparing it to this movie, but like Tarantino can make movies where it's like, geez, you're you must have spent a ton on locations, but then you have like a Reservoir Dogs. The whole thing's, I mean, there's a part in the diner, but the whole thing's in a garage.
Right. Yep.
And so yours, most of it is in this house where she's being held. And I think that when you use a small setting like that, if you can keep me intrigued, you're doing something right. You know, and I don't know. I definitely, I was taken by it. It's one of those endings where you're just like, I know some people have this kind of effect with it. Wait, what? But to me, I love those because it's just, you don't know. Like, and I don't want to give away anything, but you know.
Well, yeah, and please don't. I mean,
but I mean,
it takes
like,
you for a ride. It takes you for a ride, and that kind of was the main challenge for me, because I was like, okay, how do you make a movie not boring if it's just one location, mainly one room, really? You know, the cabin setting, but you have it by having exteriors. Yeah, like the main room where she's held hostage, but the whole movie wasn't, because we go through different characters. There's other characters. There's B story.
Right. I'm thinking about the meeting at the front doors. I guess those are just quick scenes, though.
Yeah. So anyway, but we use that cabin area, and it ended up being a Christmas tree farm. So it's a really cool location, and you see you see the place, so you feel. It's kind of, I wanted people to kind of feel like they were isolated in a cabin for a bit, for a while. And then you go to like the mom character or something, or you go to the boyfriend character, which those aren't spoilers, but there's the people that are looking for her, that are realizing that she's missing.
Yeah. Again, guys, remember she's a Instagram, TikTok. I mean, I'm just saying it could be if you know a TikTok model star and you're like, why is she a star? It's one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, you kind of care for her because she's not like that. You know, she's not, I didn't want her to be, well, one, I didn't want her to be like this damsel in distress, being like, "Oh no,
But I think,
how
but I
dare
think,
you,"
but I think you did a great job with that right from the get-go, because, and then that plays back into my head later because right in the beginning, and this isn't a giveaway, but that's a shot that's taken at another location at a warehouse. And
Mhm.
when she's dropped off, she's just rolling around there like it's not sketchy. I'd be sketched out there.
Right.
And she's like, hey, where is it? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, she can hold her own. You know
You're
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then and that was kind of another thing. It's like it's broad daylight, right? It's broad daylight. I want to do something completely opposite, where rideshare is 100% nighttime.
Mhm.
Okay, SiMP is like probably 75% daylight, and so I
And
really
when
wanted.
she's in it the room actually matches daylight too. It's
Right,
pretty
but
well lit in every
it's well
scene.
lit, yeah, but sometimes it's dark, so it's kind of like this whole Vegas thing. Like, oh, is it nighttime? Is it morning time? Is it, what day is it? Right? Like,
Well, that's
it's
what I
it's,
figured
it's
you were
structured.
doing because all the outs other than when he has that confrontation at the door with another guy
Mhm.
that's at night, I don't remember another night scene.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So I
So
thought you were doing something with the contrast of the colors, like, okay, keep the house the color of the sun.
right.
So that it felt like, due to my outside and my inside, why is this all going on in the day? Just
Y-
another confusing factor.
Yeah, I wanted it to kind of have the Vegas no clocks type factor, while
Yeah.
still retaining the structure of, hey, this is Monday, this is what happened Monday, this is what happened Tuesday. We don't know what the time things are happening or when they're happening,
Hmm.
but yeah.
But yeah, so in that first scene, I think she immediately made herself a character of, don't worry about me. Again, if somebody I love or care about says that, I'm still going to worry about them.
Hmm.
But like, I do have friends where I'm like, I got a lot more confidence in you to be in that ghetto than them.
Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And she
Yeah. Totally.
carried right from the opening. She carries herself as somebody that can be in there.
Hmm.
She's going into like, I mean, I
Photo.
do
Yeah.
B2B stuff all day. I mean, it had even had me thinking. I go to those type places when people are there though working.
Oh,
Like if I
totally.
was
Yeah.
walking around there on a Saturday and there's nobody there looking for something, I'm like, I'm gonna have my taser and my bear mace out and
Right. Yeah, you're dropping off like paint or whatever it is, and yeah, you're in this weird random warehouse, middle of the nowhere. Like, yeah, that's terrifying. As a grown man, like I'm terrified thinking about
yeah.
it.
So I don't
Yeah.
know. I overall I loved the movie. I thought, I mean, to me, the three. That's why I just mentioned the three because there's smaller films and other things you've done. But honestly, those three are all night and day different. I mean, one of the things you just mentioned that I didn't even ever pick up on, or almost all of rideshare is night. All of
Mm-hmm.
SiMP is day, or inside it's light, so you wouldn't know if it's night. And then
Hmm.
Cat Town Story is a documentary.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, and it's like this cuddly, oh, how cute, like, and he's got this like killer rideshare movie, and this girl getting kidnapped and hijacked, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what. I know you've talked about it a few times, so walk through what you've discussed on about a few things of these, and I'll jump in where I feel like, because I feel like I'm going to give spoilers.
Well, going back to what you're just saying, I'm painting the picture for the studio, right? So Warner Brothers makes documentaries. They also make Batman, but then they also make these horror movies too. It's the whole studio. It's not just I don't want to be confined to it, and I also don't want to be just the single sole director, filmmaker. I want to get to that point where I'm producing other people's there are a lot of young, old talent that's out there, and I think a lot of when regular Hollywood is starving for if they're starving for new, fresh, original ideas, like why don't we start giving it to them? So that's the philosophy behind Hey Ho Studios,
So
and
I have to ask you that. So, like, if an independent movie, like somehow, like if this, just like an algorithm, if somehow this caught on and you had put it on Prime and somebody's like, dude, this needs to be on the big screen. They're going to charge the same amount to me to go to a movie and see this as they are to go see James Cameron's Avatar 17.
Right. Yeah.
So they're going to charge me, the consumer, the same amount. How does that work out to you? Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, you use James Cameron Avatar. I mean, it would be a bit of a different charge because it would be that they would be 3D to epic charge, you know. But no, I know what you mean.
The roof movie
like,
that
any other
doesn't
like
need that,
any other blockbuster movie, you're right. They're charging you the same amount as they would. And that's
but if something like that happens, do you get do the whole negotiations change? Do you get a lot more money?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, not just
if I'm in the box
theater,
office,
but do you get to be part, unlike Prime, do you get to be part of that negotiation? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
if you're going to put it out in the theaters,
right, that depends on the big distributor, and I've yet to really crack that code there.
Right, I meant like right now.
If somebody
called you and said, "Hey, I just saw SiMP. I want to put it on the big screen."
I'd say yes, let's do it.
And then what happens?
And then we work out a deal. So they get, they'll say, "Hey, we'll get X amount of percentage for the profits for putting it in theaters," or we'll front. Typically it costs, I think, like $2 to $5 million just to get your movie in the theater, right? Something like that. Or it has to be at that like type level, and then it you make they get their money back for the initial, from what I understand, and then we do a split afterwards. But yeah, for the company, I mean, if I'm the company, I mean, I'll be making, if I'm going from making like what I'm making now to making tens of millions of dollars, I mean, it's going to be significant.
But see, this is what I'm trying to imagine. So, okay, let's play this through. So I'm the guy who I see SiMP. I have a minor, like I do tons of entrepreneur things, but I like having a little hand in some smaller movies that I run across. And I say, oh, this is the movie I want to do right now. I want to make this be seen by more. And I think there's more to this than people are knowing. Let's get it off there. I'm going to call this guy, and I call you and I say, Tremaine, let's do this. Are you going to be almost so giddy that you're almost just going to do it just to do it that first time anyway?
Well,
or do you really feel like you have no, dude, I understand this and we need to talk? And I know you would have meetings, but do you understand your value?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say yes, but if they're like, well, yeah, that's great. All we have to do is we're going to give you a $100 million loan. And if it doesn't make that money back, then you're in for out for 100 million. And then I'm like, okay, that's
right. There's just deals that are stupid that don't make sense. But you guys ever watch Shark Tank? Just look at Kevin O'Leary.
All the time. I love
look at Kevin O'Leary.
I love Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful. If you're watching, Mr. Wonderful, if you're watching.
That's who I'm talking
about. On Hey Ho Studios, Mr. Wonderful. Come on.
I mean, Max and I watch it together, and every time Max, it'll be like, oh, here comes the per unit cost.
We can talk royalties, Kevin. Come on. We can talk royalties, Mr. Royalty.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, you're that first time I'm sure you took some classes on it, and I'm sure you've had a feel from being around the scene, but that first time I would expect you're going to be feeling very excited. You're going to be like, dude, yeah, let's go. And I would expect you actually to, if they offered it, and even if you negotiated, at some point you might go, I know it's worth this and I'm worth this, but I'm willing to take this because I want to get my brand out there.
Yeah, I mean,
not every time. I'm talking about on a first time. I'm calling you and I'm like, Tremaine, and you're like, not 100 million. That's now you're talking about James Cameron Avatar 17 again.
But I guess what, like, that scenario, if they're like, hey, we'll front it, we just want to make our money back, like 2 million. We're pretty confident that it will. Then I'd be good with that. But I mean, it would have to be, they'd have to understand the risk, because I would not want to have a $2 million tab.
No. But okay.
But again, though, going back to distributors, though, that being said, I have heard horror stories about distributors that are like, oh yeah, we're gonna get you in this theater, we're gonna get you here, we're gonna get you there, we're gonna we're gonna get you sales in Thailand, and it's gonna be $500,000. You're going to get all this money and all this stuff. They promise the filmmaker the world. And then a year later, they're like, oh, you owe us 50 grand. I'm like, wait, what? Like, oh no, yeah, we put up a billboard in Guam. And so we did marketing for you and you don't appreciate that. So you owe us money. And dude, that happens more often than not. Like a lot of filmmakers are that vulnerable. You know, it would have to be a reputable company. Obviously, it wouldn't be some like random person, you know, saying like, "Oh, I'll promise me the world," and you know, then obviously I'll be skeptical. So, but if it's like Universal's like saying, "Hey, we'll put this movie in," I'd be an idiot to say no to that. You know what I mean? I'd have
That's
to be
my
a
point
moron to say no to that.
because even if they're like, we'll work a lot of deals with you, and you're thinking, no, you won't.
If
it doesn't
they were
matter.
like,
You're still gonna have a Universal stamp on one of your movies.
If they go to me like they say, Tremaine, I'll pay you $1 million. Okay, we're gonna get full rights to SiMP, and we're gonna profit every single penny after that from the theater. And let's say SiMP goes and makes $50 million. Will I feel like I lost out on some money? Yeah, but will I do that in a heartbeat? Yes, I would. I'll accept $1 million and I'll go keep making more movies because that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I'm not personally in a position to turn down $1 million for all the rights in my movie. I mean, of course, I would love to retain some rights and say, hey, maybe I can retain 10% or 5%, right? So,
so
what are you doing? You're like,
oh no, I'm bringing over my notes here because I'm going to tell you something in a minute. So, I actually gave you on a 1 to 10 scale. I rated you in 3 categories for SiMP.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Are you ready?
Okay. Oh boy. Here we go.
I was going to add in a 4th, but I didn't know how to do it. So I did story, acting, and cinematography.
Okay.
Story. And realize with me, I'm picky. I'm not going to give out a 9 real easy out of 10. Story, 8.9. Actors, 8.9. Cinematography, 9.2.
Wow. Dang. Thank you. Wow. Really appreciate that.
I mean, and I say that because I think I've told you this a lot before, Tremaine. Like I watch a ton of indie movies. I'm all about the indie movies. I love them.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a big fan of blockbuster movies. If I do watch them, I wait till I can watch it at home for free.
Right.
I used to go to the theaters and love it. You're not going to pull me in anymore.
Well, there aren't many movies to pull you in anymore.
Avatar 17.
Yeah, there you go. Wait 25 more years and it'll be.
Well, Avatar 3 is being made right now.
I know.
You know, yeah, I was actually watching an interview with Cameron on, and so, dude, I got to go back and find that because whoever was doing it was on CNBC like before last call on Market Day, and whoever was doing it did a great job because they're like, okay, well, with all the AI you were using and now all the new AI, why shouldn't your budget be even less than half of your other budgets?
Right. Yeah.
That's totally what they asked him, though, dude. You're not supposed to ask James Cameron those questions.
And what did he say? Yeah, right. What did he say?
Kind of flipped. He's like, you wouldn't believe the cost. And I do know this is true, and you do too. You wouldn't believe the cost of processing these and rendering them, but also realize that there is an artist going with each. I'm like, shut up, dude.
Yeah, no, it's like the thing is I'm rolling.
You got caught, boy.
Yeah, right. Because it's like, dude, I can make a movie. You know, I can make a movie for a lot cheaper. I don't know, but
well, anybody could.
I'm not saying I could make. Well, I don't know. Give me $10 million, maybe I could make Avatar 3. You know, I don't know. Maybe I can do it, and it's in a different, better, way cheaper way.
Maybe you could make Kamala 1. I'm just kidding, guys. No political, no religion. I just tended that rule, but that's just a joke anyway. I'm not being political one side or the other. I'm just seeing a lot of things on her, and they're just all done so funny. Even Trump too, like the dog, and you know, I saw this video. There's all those dog ones out where the dog turns in the eyes, and it's like they're eating the dogs, and the dog's going like, oh, like. I mean, so they're on both sides, but I've just been seeing a lot of others.
Speaking of dogs and cats, we got Moo Moo here. Moo Moo.
Moo Moo is not from Springfield, Ohio.
No, you're not, are you?
Because if she was, she'd be gone, right?
Right. but if you act up, we're going straight there. No, just kidding. Just kidding. He's like,
But
"Sweetest
so
cat."
I guess, I mean, I don't want to, again, I don't want to get into budget or anything, but I mean, the other thing, I'm trying to figure out what else I left out, because I probably should have, like, story should have probably been broken to more, like, I can't say like directing. I don't know how to judge that.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it's tough to
Because to
judge because
me, directing is the overall piece, like how to go. Like,
Mhm. Well, that's directing. That's also producing as well.
right.
know,
But I'm saying those are ones that are just hard to go, well, his directing was amazing. Because I
Right.
wasn't there. I don't know. To
Right.
me, you'd need the actors and stuff to say that.
Well, it helps to have good actors, and the actors were really good. They were really good.
Yeah,
And
they were.
I
They
mean,
were.
the director is just I
I mean,
dial it
and
in.
there are a couple other actors too, but I think he's primarily talking about two actors, and they're really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's other actors in the movie, but
Brooke
there's much smaller roles. There's two people who are are pretty much the movie.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
but again, I remember you telling me when I met you about your thing about well, we were just talking about him and his movies, Hitchcock. And I was thinking that, this Rideshare didn't as much, but this had a Hitchcock feel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Do
you.
you not think?
No, well, that's a huge compliment. Yeah, I mean,
But I'm
it's
saying, like, Rideshare did not have that Hitchcock feel, and or to me anyway, and you used the rideshare company was called Hitch. And to those of you in the gig economy, there is a app called Hitch. It's not a gig app, but it allows you to hitch around the country. Like,
yeah, it's
well,
like
I'm going
hitchhiking.
to Mexico, and you can find but his app for rideshare wasn't Uber or Lyft, it was Hitch.
Yep. And I thought of that 8 years ago or 9 years
Was
ago.
that Hitchcock or was it
Yeah,
Hitchhiking?
yeah, that's Hitchcock. But it's also Hitch a Ride, and that was
Right,
the inspiration.
Hitchhiking, Hitchcock.
Yeah,
I was like, that's
Hitchcock, Hitch a
really.
Ride. Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, hey,
It's
Ellen, how you doing?
my pretentious filmmaker nod,
Yeah.
But there's people that are like, oh, my favorite director is Hitchcock, and I dedicate the movie to him. It's like, God, it's I don't know. I cringe because it's like everyone could dedicate their movie to Hitchcock.
Well, now forget that Hitchcock is like what, whatever role that plays in you, because here's where a big compliment comes into. I see growth in Tremaine too. And that's why I brought up what we were just talking about if he got a call, because that was actually a little exercise, because you need to be ready. I know that
Yeah.
on a moment's notice, you're not ready. Like, you're ready.
Really?
But
Yeah.
I mean, like Tuesday, 2 p.m., a call comes in.
Right.
You're gonna be
right.
like, what the hell, dude? Who
Right.
the fuck is this? Kidding me? Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I'm like, who the hell are you?
but I mean, like, honestly, like, I was trying to give you that kind of prepared, because somebody might not. Here's my thought: somebody might not even see in you Rideshare or Cat Town Story or SiMP. They might see, wow, look at the variation of what he's doing and his growth. Like, I don't know. I feel like I could list 3 random projects. Like, I want you to do one of those stupid mailbox movies. I want you to,
Wait, what's a mailbox movie?
No, I mean, like,
Redbox.
No. Like, this letter was mailed 30 years ago, and it came in time, and these Keanu Reeves type ones.
Yeah, like the lake.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Or like The Notebook, something.
Yeah,
that's just
The
like, are you
Notebook.
fucking kidding me, man?
Dear
Like,
John.
okay, I could say, Tremaine, I need you to do like a Notebook. I could say that, Tremaine, I need you to do a true story on so and so. I need you to do this. And I feel like you're pretty versatile.
Thank you.
Like, I feel like Tarantino has a style.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't say to him, I need you to do a documentary on Dolly Parton.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's not going to go well. And the Dolly Parton estate's going to sue the hell out of you.
Right.
Because I can already see what he does.
Yeah.
So my point is, like, most people are not that versatile. Once they get it, they're like, no, this is what I do. You know, and I feel like you could just almost like grab into a bowl, pull a movie title out and go, okay, that's what I'm making.
That actually would be pretty fun. That would be pretty fun. That'd be like a fun YouTube project, you know, just like because it's tough though, because it's like I remember when I was making, I made a bunch of silly short films and YouTube videos and music videos and stuff, and then but I never made a movie yet. And when I finally got the idea to do rideshare, I'm like, oh my god, all I ever want to do is make a movie. And then I made a movie, and that whole process took years. And while I was doing the process, I'm like, gosh, damn it! I just want to make a silly YouTube video. I just want to have something, you know. So it's like it takes so much time, effort, energy to make a feature
Yeah.
that But like I grew up doing, silly, comedy videos, horror videos, music videos, weddings, a couple weddings, not too many, thank God. Um, so it kind of helped train, and then also like a bunch of working but with a bunch of different types of YouTubers, types of town, or types of filmmakers and types of sets, and you just kind of figure out the tone of whatever it is and just go with it. But
You guys, as we wind into like kind of the wind down here, I want to do one thing. I want to ask every one of you in my live chat to go over to Tremaine's live chat. Give it a like, give it the watch time. That look, Tremaine and I even have this conversation sometimes, like, hey, the YouTube algorithm, yeah. Like, we don't know what's going on. So it's like, but that is the kind of stuff where it might go, hey, wait, why were all these people jumping on alive? Move everything of his up a little. You just never know what'll do what. So I don't even mind. Leave my stream. Go to his. Go to Hey Ho Studios and give it a like and make some comments in there that brings some people in, because that's good. Let's help his channel out, because he put rideshare was on Prime too. I think it was free on Prime when it was out there, but you put rideshare on Prime, but you also put the HD on YouTube for free.
Yeah, 4K on YouTube
for free. Yeah, or 4K. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah. No, and that's the thing is like I don't know. The more I'm dealing with other of these apps, and where for Film Hub, the distributor, I have to get permission. I have to dot all these T's, cross all these I's. Then they pitch it to these other apps, and then there's months between, even when it gets accepted, it's months between. And then they don't tell me the date. They don't tell me the release date. They don't tell me when it's going to come out. So there's so many ifs, ands, and buts about it. But with YouTube, we could schedule out a release date. We can hype up, have a marketing plan and everything. So I don't know. I might be leaning on towards more releasing on YouTube first, which is kind of crazy thinking about, but we might be getting to that point, because if I really have to, if I do really focus on my YouTube channel, which we do have a lot of fun things coming up, by the way, guys, on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to Hey Ho Studios.
That's what I was about to say to you too. I see the chain links that Bubba Sue and Traveler moved over. You guys move over there, give it a like, make some comments in there.
But all the credit to you, Steve, because freaking I was at I think you were at not even 1,000 subscribers or something. Then I was at 2,000.
When you and I met, I was at 200.
Yeah, you're at 200. Yeah, and I think I was at 2,000, and then now I'm at 5,000. And Steve has surpassed me. He's at 6,000. 6,002. So credit to Steve, man. You just keep pushing out, making content. I appreciate you having me. And
I mean, look, guys, I think everybody watching, that's one thing we all know, that's keep putting content out. That's what's gonna, that's what YouTube likes. Yeah. Just keep making shit. I don't even care if it's good, dude. Just make it.
Yeah.
I mean, I try and really put my heart into my pieces and make sure that they're worthy of doing. I'm not just trying to sit there and have a live stream, but that they want you to just make. And so, that's about the only thing I do know about the YouTube algorithm, because everything else is just elusive. But yeah, it looks like everybody moved over there. Make sure you're giving them a like and a sub and all that stuff, and share it out, share his channel out. Go find rideshare and share it out tonight.
But mainly SiMP, right?
Right, but you can't share out SiMP.
Oh yeah. You can.
But yes,
With
go
the
watch
Filmmaking.
SiMP. And
Go
this is
watch
a
them. Yeah,
question
yeah.
I had up here, Tremaine. So Rick is in California, and he says on my Amazon Prime, you can rent them for 49 cents and purchase for 3.49. Then he says, also purchase it 8D 3.49 or SD 1.49. Is this new?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you could buy an HD.
Well, when I did it, it was maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was $3.99. I don't care. I thought it was $3.99 to rent and $4.99 to buy.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was $1.99 to rent for me.
Oh, maybe it was. I didn't even look because I was
99 cents for to do SD, standard definition.
Mm-hmm.
I guess some people do that for some reason, but
here's the thing. Here's something I do want to ask everybody. Whether you're watching this on the replay, and maybe Tremaine cuts this into some shorts, I think he should. But listen, if you can't watch it right now, if you're so bogged down, if you can watch it in the car between some orders, great. If you can watch it with your family, great. All of that. But if you're gonna and you're gonna, you gotta work a couple more weeks. You're behind, rent's coming up. At least go over there and give it a 5-star rating.
Well, actually, you have to watch it. They've
To
gotten
be
pretty
verified.
sophisticated now. Oh yeah, to be verified. Oh,
You cannot watch it, give it 5 stars, no words, just 5 stars, and then after you watch it, re-rank it. If you don't think it was 5 stars, give it a true rating. But for right now, no, I'm being honest. For right now, while it's new, help them out, dude.
Well, I'm being honest, dude. Just actually watch the movie and then actually rate it. What do you want? And hopefully rate it 5 stars. So, but watch the damn movie. Let's focus on people watching.
Yes,
the movie.
of course, watch the movie.
Yeah.
But my point is
it's all about
helps
I made it. I spent 3 years of my life on this damn thing.
Don't watch it. No, I'm just kidding.
So don't watch it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Hashtag not worth it.
But so okay, you're talking about this was a 3-year project. But you did Cat Town Story during that time.
Yeah, I mean, when all's said and done, yeah, and I had a bunch of other projects in between. But yeah, if you look at the very start to very finish, it was about to release date. It was about 3 years.
Yeah, see, Bubba Sue's gonna watch. Awesome, she's in Jersey.
Awesome, Bubba Sue.
Ellen, you should watch. You're in Vegas. Rick, you should watch. You're in California. Because these are good. These travelers in upstate New York. These are good demographics to show people watching it from all over too. Those are I can't explain it and I wouldn't try, but those are the kind of things I just know in my head help. Like Miko, no customers,
totally.
no business. She's in Florida.
Right. Yeah, totally. If it's like if it's my 5 friends and they all live in Sacramento, it doesn't.
If it's right, if there's 1,000 views, if there's 1,000 views this week and 900 are from the Sacramento greater area, they're not going to give Tremaine as much love.
Right. Yes. So I appreciate the love.
Look, there's no way you're going to go wrong watching it. I mean, it's an absolutely enjoyable movie. And I'm interested to hear what everybody else thinks too. I mean, I wish that everybody had seen it and it was a private conversation here because I would dive into some more details. But I gotta be really careful because in this one especially, a detail can really screw things up.
Well, yeah, and we can have that, for a later date, right? We can set one up
but it's still always a spoiler unless you keep it private.
Yeah, look, it's like you could say, hey, if you guys aren't going to watch the movie, we'll talk about it. But
I just said that and you said no, watch it. So let's change that. Just watch it.
Just watch it, guys. Just watch the movie. Then we can talk about it. We can have spoilers.
So Rideshare, awesome. Cat Town Story, awesome. And you guys know me. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't like cats. They don't like me. When I've had to spend the night I know everybody knows a person like this where somebody's has major. I don't have it to many things, but I have it to cats. Major allergies. I know if you have cats or you've been around them, you've had a buddy who spent the night and the cat gets on his chest and does the dude. That's me. I wake up every time and I'm going. I can't breathe at all. And I'm just like, get off me, cat. I'm like pushing the cat and running out the door for air. It's like, it's crazy. Like I can't even be around them. But Cat Town Story got my heart, I'm not trying to be mean, dude. I just don't like them. Like they don't like me, so I don't like them back. I don't care.
That's fair. There's a lot of people. The biggest compliment I got at the premiere of Cat Town was this kind of old salt of the earth type guy. He's like, I'm not even a cat. He's like, I'm not even a cat person. I don't even like cats. But after watching your film, made me want to adopt a cat. I'm like, damn. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
it kind of does, man. Because not to step away from SiMP, but to be honest, with Cat Town Story, one thing that I found really cool, if you would have done that with 100 other places in the country, and there are smaller ones, but when you were telling me about it before it came out, and you were saying Oakland, I'm imagining, okay, there's gonna be some big shelter, there's gonna be a burn pit in the back.
yeah, right.
Like, I
right.
mean, like this is a pretty intimate setting, and the people are known. The cats have names. Like in the intro, the titles have the cats.
Right. Yeah, we thought it'd be funny.
You know, I mean, it's a very
Little boy.
small, intimate setting, so you actually get a real feel for what's going on here and everything. So I like things like that. I don't like it when you blow it too big out of proportion, because then you get into the macro numbers and it's like that doesn't really help me. You know, I'd rather see like boots on the ground. How's this working?
Yeah, and it's all about this. It is the story. It's the storyline of each one, right? It's not this, because Netflix makes a lot of documentaries, and a lot of them they want retention, they want attention, retention, and there's going to be a million things happening all at once. But it's like if you slow down, you get to know these people and the cats. I believe that it'll make a more lasting impact on you, you know, as the audience member.
But I need to ask you: was there an alternate ending to SiMP? Or do you do alternate endings? I never have even asked you that.
I don't. There was a. What I will say is there was an end card that says more that I was going to have, but I cut it out. So
yeah.
So well, it wasn't not an alternate ending, but this ending, like instead of spelling everything out for everyone, I just didn't
it would I'm going to say this. It would be very easy to make a sequel to SiMP, in my opinion, that could go in 100 different directions.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard not to be a spoiler, because you know how to be professionally how to not spoil a movie. I don't.
Right.
Like you do enough of these type things where you're like, dude, okay, I know how to not spoil this and mention things, but
yeah, and it's mainly talking about what it's about versus what happens in it, if that makes sense. So it's like some people are like, oh, this happens, and then this happens. It's like, well, that's kind of how you spoil a movie. But you know, if you say like, well, you know, she gets kidnapped, she gets held hostage in the cabin, and it's a story about what you do, what this girl could do in that situation, you know. So,
but somewhere along the movie, and I'm just gonna say this, I don't think in any way this is a spoiler, but somewhere in the movie, were you thinking Stockholm syndrome for her? Because there were this is one of the things I need to say, is that there were times where I thought, oh dude, she's having Stockholm syndrome, and then there were like, there would be almost maybe the next scene where I'm like, no, she's not.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of
but it didn't look like she was faking Stockholm syndrome either. Yeah. So I was wondering if you were really thinking about it at all, and was she having it?
Well, I want the audience to that's exactly what you just said is exactly what we were going for the audience, because
did I just do what I said and spoil everything?
No, you didn't spoil it. No. But I want the audience I want the audience to be like, does she have or does she not? Or wait, is she, you know,
is she into this?
Is she into this, or is she in on it? Is she, you know, is she like, you know, you don't know. You kind of want to, you I don't know, for this,
because there's a lot of different sides of her in that movie. Like clearly after an event like that, like if I met her after the incident and I was a news interviewer interviewing her, after the interview was over, I'd be like, you need to seek a lot of professional help because of that incident. But also, like, if you were to see it play out, like, but again, I know that's your job as the creator, the writer, to make that feeling. Otherwise it would just be boring.
Yeah, well, it's kind of
So
like if she was, well, the thing is, I didn't want her to be this like mentally distressed. We've seen that movie, the Lifetime original. She's like, just let me go, and it's like, no, I don't. Yeah, no one wants to see an hour and a half of that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like she holds her own. She's a strong female character, but at the same time, it's not like she's not this Mary Sue, which is she could do no wrong. She's flawed. Every character in this is flawed. Every character in this is in over their heads, and every single character.
so
So
would you work again with her on a project? I mean, obviously you
absolutely,
would, but I mean, is she
absolutely,
somebody you want to work with again?
absolutely, in a
Are you
heartbeat.
go? Are have you already discussed it with her?
No plans yet. No
I mean,
plans
have you
yet. But
broached it though and said, "Hey, listen"? I mean, I'm sure you. I work production, so I kind of know how this rolls. But like, have you? I mean, you walk out of doing something, and you're like, "Hey, we're going to do more stuff." Yeah, we always say that. But I
well, after
mean,
after the movie won Best Picture, Best Film
and
award,
that's where we were going next. And so go ahead,
and
because
she won and
Tremaine. This is SiMP. Tremaine won the Sacramento.
Sacktown Movie Buffs Film Festival at IMAX Theater.
There. So it got
Real,
premiered in an IMAX.
yeah, premiered at IMAX Sacramento, and we won Best Feature Film, and she won Best Actress. So Brooke Piedra won Best Actress. So obviously after winning these awards, we talked about it like, oh yeah, she'd love to work with me again. I'd love to work with her again.
Mm-hmm.
It's any and in every opportunity, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's great to find the people that are really good to work with. She was really professional, really good. This is the first like
The guy was
lead
too. It's
lead. Oh
just
yeah, the guy's great. Oh yeah, he's
sometimes it's
great.
tough. Sometimes it's tough for me when somebody through that one. And again, even on the cover, it shows it, so you guys are going to see it. But he wears the mask so often, it's hard to fully take him in.
Hmm.
But I can understand that if I'm reading it right, you wanted the focus on her,
Right.
even though he's a big role. I
But
mean,
he's great. I
because
mean,
he's the only other really role. Like
and well,
if he doesn't have a role, there's nothing for her to do.
it was funny because he's Mike is a very professional actor. I mean, he's been in dozens of movies, like like maybe 70 movies already or something like that.
Mhm,
So, and this was her first like lead role. We made the Bachelor Party movies back in the day, and she was in those. That's where I met her. And
mhm.
then, but this is her first like real meaty role with dialogue, with memorizing pages upon pages of lines. And, she had a really good experience. She was great to work with. And, we pushed her. I had to push her a bit. And one of the scenes in particular was for a lot of drama, very dramatic scene. And she wasn't quite getting there. And I'm like, come on, like, you could do this. And she did. So,
Do you have a queued up scene that we can use
let me see.
that won't spoil anything or anything? Just something we
We,
could show that.
we can play the trailer.
Okay, we can play the trailer. And then I have one more thing about Future with Tremaine, and then
Okay.
that's really all I had, guys, for tonight. I've been telling Tremaine we're gonna do this, and I was just like, dude, are you around? Let's do it in 20
Yeah,
minutes.
no, and you got me at a good time. And I'll tell you why in a second, but yeah, you want me to bring the link or
You can just share it, and then I should be able to bring it up.
okay. All right,
I'm on Tremaine's. I don't pay for YouTube, and I have the chat. I turned over to Tremaine's channel right now, and it's a Denver mattress commercial right now because we're trying to find something. So
Oh, that's funny.
it stuck a ad in the. Everybody's like, "Why don't you get the YouTube paid?" I'm like, "Because I like to see the commercials and where they are." And I mean, no, it helps
No,
me.
that is interesting. No, that
Yeah,
is interesting. That is good to know.
like yeah, I think it was like while you guys figure it out, here's Denver Mattress Firm.
Denver mattress. All right, so I'll share it in the private chat.
What? Just a link?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Oh, I guess I could have presented. Okay.
Right. I got it. That's all.
You got it. You got the show.
Okay.
That thumbnail you made for me, it's like, you love that photo.
It's like I had this thought the first time I saw it where I was like, I thinking of you where I was like it could be the like and I don't know why I was thinking downfall, but the downfall story of Fabio.
The true Hollywood's
You're right, like one of
Fabio
those
story.
like then he fell to drugs.
You're right. Yeah. 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 Right. Jeez. On that
Okay,
note,
here guys, we're gonna watch this and then I'm gonna hit it to full screen.
This superstar model was brutally abducted, auctioned off as a sex slave.
But last July, she was abducted by 2 masked men. She was drugged, gagged, and held hostage in a remote farmhouse. It's almost unbelievable.
What I can say is that there are a number of anomalies that make it, at the very least, an extremely unusual kidnapping situation.
Something isn't adding up.
What? Why can't I keep my goddamn mouth shut?
I'm coming, Jess.
An elaborate
what?
I forgot about those guys.
to make money
Oh, yeah.
and boost her modeling career.
Hi. You're kind of cute.
Technically, you could get famous as a missing person. But then again, how many people go missing every single day?
Yeah, there we go. Anyway.
That should make you guys want to go see that. Actually, because it made me even want to go watch it again. I've only seen it once, but I bought it. Luckily, that's the thing. I bought it, so I don't.
Yeah,
I can go back and dissect it again. It's been 2-3 weeks, and Tremaine's been waiting to hear what I had to say about it.
Oh, I've been eager, but I'm glad we're able to talk about it live because I was thinking, I'm like, did he actually watch the movie or did he not? You know?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Of course,
People
my
like, oh,
my
yeah.
son watched it with me.
Oh, he did. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
What did he think about it?
He liked it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. He probably didn't like it as much as me. And I think in his mind, he's thinking, "Well, dude, where's the $1 million budget?"
Yeah,
And
right.
and he's not like that. I'm not saying that. I just think he was looking at it more like that. Like, okay, I mean, he's very cool. So I think he was like, awesome for an indie. And I'm like, awesome for a movie, bro. You don't need to say indie.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I mean?
if he didn't, it's kind of hard for people that have grown up with.
No, I
lot
mean,
of,
no, dude, he's very smart. He's an adult
yeah.
now. But
Yeah.
I mean, like we were watching it together and he was going, wait a second, what? Wait, there was something weird that happened where he asked me a question near the end and he was like, okay, because none of that because we were like an hour in or something, and I can't remember the exact point, but he said, and I think that it was because he was doing his thing, and like as I started it, I was like, sit down, dude, sit down, start. He was like, I don't get why she's here.
Oh man.
And so I had to say, dude, in the beginning, remember when they were at the blah 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 and the blah blah blah, and he's like, oh yeah, kind of. And then in my head, I was remembering, wait, you were like getting food and
Oh, come on, Steve. You can't play the movie until.
Well, I gave him I was like, ready? And he sat down. Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
You ready? Yeah. Oh, I got it. Fuck you.
Well, yeah. Oh,
no, but he did
okay.
like it. But
So
he had a
missed
big
the
question
crucial
where he's like, oh. It was an eye opener. Now I
Oh,
totally
wow.
remember.
So he missed the total opening of the movie. That's like the most important.
He Tarantino'd the movie.
He did.
he watched the middle, like the just after the opening,
right?
For
yeah.
20 minutes. Then he had to deal with something for 8 minutes, and then he came in and watched the rest of it. And then he was reminded of the beginning because I told him
3/4.
Oh, right.
Yeah, 3 steps forward, 5.
It's
steps
like,
back.
dude, learn how to watch a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
No, that's
remember, dude, you don't have a kid. Remember 18-year-old kids?
not yet.
It's not a
No.
TikTok.
Oh, I
It's
know.
not a
Well, that's
TikTok
why I
world
was
like
kind of
everybody
scared. That's why
says.
I'm like scared to ask, because it's like, those are the real, more of the
No, dude,
brutal.
he
But if he
no.
missed the beginning, that's a valid question. That's a very
Remember
valid-
too, his uncle, on my ex's side. So my ex-wife's brother, he makes movies, big movies.
Oh, really?
I think I've told you this before. His name's Terry Leonard.
Oh, wow.
And he's down in LA. He does some really big things.
Wow.
And I'm still pretty close with Terry too, so I'm just not close with my ex.
Hey, hello.
But yeah, so he's familiar with this thing too. He's familiar with the movie process, and he's into them. He loves movies. He loves watching them and dissecting them. So yeah, I mean, here's how I would say it. I think for his age, he probably ranked it. If I were to ask him to rank it, I think his ranking would be way higher than I would expect, because I would expect from people his age 2s and 3s.
Oh, wow.
Just because they're like, dude, I want that wasn't a 15-second TikTok.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, dude.
Yeah.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
exactly. I know. No, I know. Yeah.
But last thing before we leave here, SiMP is awesome. You guys got to go watch it. You got to go watch it. And if you haven't seen Rideshare, go see Rideshare too. But SiMP is first. Put SiMP on the chopping block.
Yep.
And he just spent all this time, and it's out. It's on Prime only.
Prime Video
Right
as
now?
of right
Okay.
now. Prime
Right.
Video
For
only.
now, Prime
Yeah.
only.
Yep.
But what's next? Because a lot of these people in here know Dark Road Run. They know Joe. But if you guys don't know that part of the story,
Joe shot the mom scenes, by the way. I don't know did you know that?
Oh yeah.
Because
Because
he's
he's
the mom. Yeah. He shot.
he's cameo too.
Yes. Well, Joe?
Yeah.
No, Joe doesn't have a cameo.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. He doesn't.
Before they're at the house.
That's not him.
Maybe I'm not doing it.
It's not. I know what you're thinking of. That's not him.
Okay.
Just so you know. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
Anyway,
if I was
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Okay. I mean, I believe you.
It's not him.
But the thing is a lot of these people know Joe from the gig economy.
But
and guess what? Joe and Tremaine, like I hooked those guys up together. They've been doing stuff together. They were going to do a ChatGPT movie. I know they were looking at, and some other just fun stuff. And they've screwed around. And we all know how Joe is with lighting and stuff. When you get him to focus on cool stuff,
Careful how you phrase that.
What?
You're like, oh yeah, Tremaine and Joe have screwed around,
Well, no. Understand, Tremaine, that for a lot of us, that's exactly what it was. It was Joe screwing around for 12 hours at night.
Yeah.
Every night during the pandemic, doing the coolest stuff.
Right.
But like we would sit through set changes and stuff, and he'd talk to us. He'd like, hold on, let me change every light.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I mean, but he made those very fun. I've said many times that Joe was actually a part of getting me through the pandemic.
Yeah.
He played a role in helping me, because in the
midnight
hours,
he would put on those shows.
It was the Joe show. Every night at midnight for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd take you to church. He'd be playing music. Just anything. So Joe's very talented, but are you guys still doing stuff together? Are you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to see him tomorrow, actually. Yeah, we're working on a certain project, but I'll talk to you more about that later. But I will say when you ask me what's next is Hey Ho Studios. We're looking at getting to that next level. So you talked about the growth from SiMP to Rideshare to SiMP. We're looking at that next level with Hey Ho Studios, but more to come yet. But just know that there's a lot more to come, and it's going to be a lot bigger, a lot better. So that's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned. Be subscribed to Hey Ho Studios. And please continue to watch Steve. Of course you will, because won't we all?
You know what? Do you have the domain Hey Ho Studios?
Yes, I do.
So does everything branch off from there? Like, so if somebody likes Facebook or they like this, does all your stuff go from there?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, is Hey Ho Studios a good link instead of going, hey, find them on TikTok, find them on this, find them?
Well, not right now, no. Well, right now, no, because it's like I gotta update my website. It's okay. It's a basic website, but it does branch out.
I mean,
But yeah,
even just the socials, because that lets me say to people, go to heyhostudios.com, pick your poison, and they can see all the social media ones. At least.
yeah, my site is not quite there yet, so we need help. So there's web developers out there that can help me
Very
with these sites. Because thing is, like when we're doing, if I'm doing a million different things, it's hard for me to get everything. But no excuses. We'll get it done. The best way to do it is just youtube.com/heyhostudios.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be out there. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for watching. And Tremaine, I as you know, I am one of Tremaine's biggest supporters. Go watch all his stuff. Go watch Leprechaun 2. Don't watch one.
Yeah, write a TarGT. Write a TarGT in the comments if you came from here.
And
But
watch
no,
for a
Steve.
scene where Tremaine, I mean, he does a lot of like fast walking up to people, but watch for a scene where he's just staring. It's it is my favorite Tremaine scene ever. I don't know why. And I laugh hysterically. Like I can be in the room with other people who are like, what the hell are you laughing at? I'm just like, I just know the guy. But Tremaine, thank you. And I'm glad that we finally got to do this. And yes, I will do, when you tell me the time's right and I can do a real let's get into it review, then let's get into it. I just don't want to give the spoilers away, man. You know? Tremaine's losing it. I think he's trying to give me this. He's trying to give me the stare, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, all right.
Dude, it's you do it so
Not
well
the
in
stare.
Leprechaun 2, man.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you.
what the
Yeah,
hell
we got to
you were
get back into it. But yeah, no, thank you, Traveler. Thank you, Bordura. Thank you, Delivering with Ellen. Raicha Road Warrior Rick. Babaus. Everyone in the house. Babaus in the house. No customers, no business. Everyone.
But you guys, Tremaine is a well, like on YouTube, just alone. You can just go there and just go through his things, go through his videos. He's got a ton of stuff up. And some of them are really short too, so you can just play around too and see some stuff. So
Yeah.
but screw all that. Go to Prime and see SiMP.
See SiMP. Yeah, that's it. Just go see
SiMP.
We won't confuse
You know what?
you. Go see SiMP.
I'm gonna put
Forget all that.
I'm gonna put 2 links in the show notes because I didn't have time to put any. When this is over, right now when we finish, I'm gonna go put the YouTube channel and the link on Prime to SiMP. That's all that's going to be in these show notes. So you got, and I'm gonna put the link to SiMP on the top. So you guys go look, click that link, go watch it. Watch it, dude. You know,
Awesome.
I mean, look, we all got time, and you know, here and there, like take a downtime and go watch a. This is a friend of ours. This is a person we know who's a goddamn movie director. You know, like
I think
Tremaine,
they will.
you're the
They'll see
man.
it. Thank you. You're the man. You're the man. You're the man.
We're the man.
Let us know. We're the men. I don't know. All right, brother. Well,
you guys
thank
have a great weekend. And hopefully I'll do another one of these on, and we'll keep it really confined to like 20 minutes when the time's right, where I can just go ballistic on everything I thought about.
There you go. I think we just did a little bit. Okay. All right.
I think I did as much as I can for right now. Go watch SiMP, guys. Appreciate you.